Well, for the last time in the year 2023, the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup focuses, of course, eThekwini, and we are in Umlazi, 15 kilometers south of the city. Umlazi bordered by Chesterfield to the north, the Durban city, of course, to the northeast, including the defunct Durban International Airport as you go around the city. But the focus very much on the Kings Wellington Stadium here and the fans that have turned out for the final. And the nations of Zambia and Lesotho coming to the fore here. Both have played some good football. Both have lost one match on their way through to the final. Both will be looking to maintain the standard they've set in the quality of football they've played, the goals they've scored, and the reasons why they've earned their spots here in the final. Great group of Lesotho fans have come through as we go back to Lesotho against Malawi, and a great first touch and pull through to find a smashing opener against Malawi for this Lesotho side, and the goal when it came through from Jane Tabantu with a smashing finish then with a run out on that far side. Mokashani with the touch, the finish from Tabantu, class from Lesotho in being the first to score against Malawi. Malawi weren't to just lie down and hand over the win. They got themselves a penalty then as they fought their way back into this match. We knew at this point, William Chonga, we're in for a humdinger of a semi-final as Malawi were looking for the quick response.
Indeed, without doubt, and it looked like it was all in their favor. But character is what I would say about this Lesotho team. Nobody gave them much of a chance up to this far. And somehow they sneaked behind everybody's awareness. But this one, there was no doubt about this goal.
As he picked up the yellow card for this, which was quite telling in the end. We'll tell you why, as Kawanga stepped up and drilled it beyond Moerani. And they took well from the penalty spot on that occasion. Did the country that would go on to finish fourth at this year's Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup, having lost out to South Africa earlier today in the third and fourth playoffs. So, for Lesotho fans here, reason for them to even have no numbers out there with what they've seen so far in this tournament. And, well, they've entertained to a point where you don't necessarily have to be from Lesotho to be in the final here today. Even the locals are appreciating what Lesotho's given us.
It's the football that you play. I think through that, they've built themselves a lot of fans here, and which I think every team can be able to achieve that. If you come here with your style and you push it through regardless of the challenges, and which is how they went about to win this game, because they were able to possess the ball even under pressure, and which kept the opposition without the ball to play.
Now, Zambia in their semi-final were up against the host South Africa. China tells you many were looking forward to this game, and quality from the South Africans then. A shot going up before the South Africans denied just momentarily before Mabasa kept up his good goal-scoring nick going into the semi-finals.
Obviously, his positioning is key, but also this one fell perfectly into his left foot as it rebounded for the goalkeeper. I guess once I failed in his clearance was to put it wide, which Mabasa welcomed that opportunity with pleasure.
Well, they had to come from behind, show character, and the finish for the Zambians similar to what we saw from Mabasa as they snatched it home then from point-blank range, and it was game on with Mashata finding the equalizer.
Yeah, defensively, Bafana let them down there by not picking up the men in a more central position who could score the goal, and that for me is some of the things that the players can learn from. As you can see here, there's a player who's drifting a little bit more central, and everybody else arrives a little late.
Well, the way they went about finding the lead and eventual winner was something truly special, William Chong.
Special indeed, but maybe I scrutinize things a bit more in the area of goalkeeping. if it's a left-footed player, he's more likely to curl it into that far post. As a goalkeeper, you cover that one more than the other. And I think it was caught a little bit in the middle.
Now, let's have a look at the roads to the final for Lesotho. And, well, right from the early stages, they started off with Mauritius. They impressed, but many would have thought it's just Mauritius. It could get worse for Lesotho. It got even better with Mozambique.
In my view, exactly. I just thought maybe, and I just thought, umlilo ma pepper. You know what? When you light the pepper fire, it just goes out
quick.
and dies quick. And it wasn't the case because they actually got it better against Mozambique.
Went on to lose against Angola, but by then it was done. They were top of the group regardless of the results in a match where they changed a lot of their starters, but then they had to come back strong against Malawi.
Which is all the reason why they lost that one, but that paid off because they needed fresher legs come the semi-final.
Boy, did those fresh legs come in handy considering they played the entire second half with 10 players on the field following Kwanazi sending off. Now, for Zambia, they didn't have it easy themselves. Came up against a tough Malawi side and stumbled right at the beginning.
Which I said for me is how they've been able to bounce back from a losing situation has showed true character, because for the most part that's what happened, and they'll need that same character here this evening.
Well, they got better and better. 4 against Seychelles, came from behind to get the better of South Africa in what was a truly tough semi-final as well for the Zambians. So, Lesotho have their fans ready to go to battle here. They're ready to back their sides, the most numbers we've seen yet from a Lesotho contingent. Zambia have their fans here, including those that have just come out to show their love for the beautifully Southern African game. We go off for a short break. When we come back, we continue with a build-up towards the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup final of the year 2023. Welcome back to the Kings Valentini Stadium here. Again, they are well entertained. Those that have turned out here and have been well entertained by Siyabonga Shesi, the MC here with COSAFA. He's done a stunning job. He can sing, he knows the football, he understands the crowd, and he's continuing to get the crowd involved in the build-up to the final as we build up to the final. 21 matches played up to this point and 47 goals scored. Again, the biggest victory that belongs to the Comoros, which may come as a surprise, and the most goals in the game, 4-2. On a couple of occasions, Zambia get the better of Seychelles when they needed to in closing out the group, and Angola ending on a strong note against Lesotho. There you have it. Kangwanda stands out with 3 goals for Zambia. He'll be a threat here today. Mabasa's done well for himself here in reminding us of what he could do from a South African point of view in front of goal. But the likes of Kawanga and Mashata have continued to contribute from a goal-scoring point of view for their nations. Now, William Shongo was busy earlier on. He spoke to both Les Inoti of Lesotho and Moses Shoni of Zambia.
Once in 2000 you let it slip as a player, now you have a chance as a coach to win it.
No, actually, I was not part of that team that lost against Zimbabwe in the year 2000.
Yes.
But yes, of course, the last time Dikwena played in the COSAFA Cup final was in the year 2000, yes.
All the wins you made or to qualify for the finals means nothing if you don't win it.
Yeah, today, I mean, the hard work that the boys put in during this tournament, I think they deserve to be in the final. Now it's for them to fight for it and take it home.
Now, your approach, it's the final, there's nerves involved. How have you prepared for the boys to take it in the stride?
Yeah. Yes, the anxiety levels are always there, you know, but we have calmed them down. We have shown them that this is just another ball game. Yes, of course, the stakes are high. Our country's pride is at stake. So we need to see to it that we pull off everything, you know, that is there. If we should fight for each ball and try to create as many goal-scoring opportunities.
I'm sure in the back of your mind there are heroes at home that maybe are no more. I'm referring to the Matiti brothers. I'm sure the players will have that in their mind to play for them as well.
Yes, I mean, it's been a long time since Dikwena, you know, performed like this in this tournament. So the support back home is quite high, it's immense. So we really, the boys are get up. The boys have told us that, no, look, this is the only opportunity that they have, you know, to make it for Basutus.
Thank you very much, Coach, and all the best.
No, thank you so much.
Zambia is in the process of making history. They've won it 6 times. They can actually make it 7th. It's history.
Yeah, I'm kind of a person who don't look at history, how many times we've won this tournament. But the most important thing is today we are playing the final. And I hope the guys will be able, you know, to put up a good game, and at the end of the day, we lift here the cup.
Now, there is a small installment of the crocodiles of Lesotho that you have to deal with. How many copper bullets will it take to shoot them down?
I mean, I'm not that kind of a coach that likes doing predictions. What is important is we are taking Lesotho very seriously, and we know that this is one of the experienced team at the tournament. And we did some analysis, and I hope the guys they'll be able to do a good job.
From the games that I've seen of Zambia, you normally start slow, but more than anything is the character of being able to bounce back from having been led by a goal.
Yeah, one thing you have to understand, I mean, this team which is on the pitch today playing the final, we only assembled this team a week, and we never even had some friendly games to prepare. So as you can see, we started bad, and the team keeps growing each game.
Best of luck, coach.
Thank you.
The 22nd edition of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup comes down to history, being made by either Lesotho through winning their first ever COSAFA Cup or Zambia by standing out as the most successful nation in COSAFA Cup history, with the Kings Welitini Stadium the battleground for the final in Umlazi. The dignitaries coming through to, well, as all finals go, meet the players here, give them a bit of a handshake with the captains, of course, leading the dignitaries and meeting all of the players in the pre-match ceremony. And, well, with that done, the formalities will be followed through and concluded here in a build-up to the singing of the national anthem. Closer and closer to the moment of truth here as the dignitaries are led off, of course, by the match commissioner, Mr. Kiba Mwanyani, Honorable Mr. Minister of Sports, Zikwatwa, the MEC of Sports, Dr. Mahlaba, Mr. Said Ali Atuman, Vice President of COSAFA, the Honorable Mr. Aunda, the Executive Mayor of eThekwini Metro, COSAFA KZN Chairman Kwenza Ngwenya, Mr. Pidani Nene, business partner of Hollywood Bets. Well, they all started off by greeting the players. Now we'll leave the field having greeted and shaken hands with everyone on both benches as we get through the pre-match formalities. And now time to talk matters on the field. As Lesotho step forward in the second greatest moment in COSAFA Cup history. If they go on to become victorious, this will be their greatest moment by far. Not too far, having lost out in one final back in 2000. up against a tough Zambian side of this Lesotho side. So they have a change that has Sarah come back to, well, make his first start of this tournament. He scored off the bench on one occasion. Mokashani, of course, their top goal scorer with two. They've got Tabansu out of the attack, a sharp attack, with Tabansu also having scored in this tournament.
I'm trying to imagine the quality of the front movements when you got Bereng playing just behind the striker, and then you'll have the number 11 Mokachane, who also going to get there. So is Tabanchu now, who drifted a little to the left hand side to open up the space for Sarah. The flow of goals into that thing there will be a high priority for Lesotho.
Well, Zambia carries some serious movers and shakers themselves as far as the attacking areas here. In their starting 11, they do have Molambia, of course, who has scored a couple of goals. Gangwanda has scored 3 goals, tournament joint top goal scorer, along with Mabasa of South Africa. But then there's the creative abilities of the man wearing the number 7 shirt. That, of course, is Kabamba.
Brilliant player. That, of course, the combination with Libamba, but more from Gagwanda on the right hand side, who also likes to drift a little bit more central. So the shots that it takes them from a more central position of the field. So he'll be dangerous.
Match referee from Mauritius, Patrice Melizar. From Botswana, he's the first assistant. Kasilani Mulefe, then his second assistant, Zacharias Baloi from Mozambique. The fourth official in this encounter is Paulo Sergio of Angola. Former player, now coach. He's coached Lesotho on a number of occasions as either the head coach or the stand-in coach. As a coach Noti, in the heart of defense, of course, partnering. Makepe in your picture is Tseka, and those will be a crucial combination that Moses Shone will hope to take advantage of, considering the sending off of Kwanazi in the semi-final from the center of that defense. Kapumbu, quietly crucial in the heart of midfield for the Zambians.
What he does very well for me is his anchoring position. Never ventures forward, but always available to break down the opposition's attack. But also he's got the pass to start the movement forward. So he's key.
Lesotho in the whites and blue, Zambia in the green. They'll attack the left, Lesotho. Zambia will attack the right. Passion, very much alive with possibilities in the way of both their support systems here. All eyes for the time being on Petrus Dinazar, the man in the middle. So we have left off in this final. Keeping in mind, both have played in every COSAFA Cup since its inception back in 1997. It's a second final appearance for Lesotho, a 13th final appearance for Zambia. Lesotho are yet to be crowned champions. Zambia have been crowned champions on 6 occasions. Lesotho 1-time silver medalist. Zambia are 6 times silver medalists.
If you have to look at the states, heavily stacked against Lesotho.
Lesotho have made it their business to punch way above their weights in this year's COSAFA Cup. Yeah, they are on the front foot, with the pace being injected into the game then with some good hard running from the middle of the park, ball in. Of course, with Sarah now out in the attack, it'll invite the early balls into the box here as Lesotho continue to push forward then, and no joy for Tabantu. Going into a brick wall in the way of that clean defense from Zambia.
I guess trying to force to open up the right foot to crack a shot, and that's where he got caught. And it was hard because he's the left attacking white player in this game. There wasn't much to which he could maybe touch it to somebody running behind him.
Kampamba. Tough opening game for the Zambians, where they lost, of course, through an own goal to the Malawans. An equally tough semi-final in the last game against the South Africans, where they had to come from behind, but it is safe to say they've gotten better as the tournament has worn on. Of the Zambians certainly looked the part in the way they ended the game against the South Africans, nice and strong. Whilst Lesotho, well, they put their best foot forward right from the get-go, could afford to take the foot off the pedal in closing out the group stages, were still top of their group. And again, were unbelievable against Malawi in the semi-final. I say so because they played the entire second half with 10 men on the field. Pananzi sent off. Still, Lesotho not only defended well, but still had moments going forward with 10 on the field. It went to a penalty shootout where they were the outright winners, 3-0. Morani saving 3, scoring the final penalty.
Great planning into the second half, of course. In the way that the coach, yes, not only did they step back, but they still had moments to spring some attacks from transition play. But what they did decisively was that they weren't going to throw the ball away too much, even if they don't go forward, because they still had the hope of a shootout, which was the plan.
Lovely ball, great run on this near side. The vision was flat on. The angle of the pass didn't quite complement the run being made on the near side. That's a pace and plenty of it. Tabantu operating out wide on this near side. See him operate as the lone striker. Made the point a little earlier, didn't get a chance to complete it. Seda in there, gives him some height now in the way of early balls into the box and the aerial battles on the front foot. Nicely done in the middle of the park now. Mokashane from range. Well, he's high on confidence, a young man who's made quite a name for himself in the last week and a half here in the colours of Lesotho.
Maybe that first touch lets him down, but you could still say maybe the route towards, direct towards goal was closed, so he looked to maybe spray a little bit to the right position before he could take the shot.
We haven't had a chance to watch Lesotho play up to this point. What has been impressive with them is not just the fact that they've been able to score goals and win matches even when the going has been tough against them. The play here, just onside and looking to make things happen, going forward with a ball across. Last touch from Lebakolani, conceding the corner. The first we've seen of Kangwanda going forward, and he's a threat from the wide area.
Lebakolani, one of the defensive midfielders, kept track with the game. He didn't leave it to the defenders to do the defending. He was there to be able to help push that ball out. That, for me, is the compact way that they play.
Yes, for Dinare, the man that's conceded the corner, taking short here. The Zambians have got good numbers in that box. Skill out to that far side, needed to keep it moving, and strength as well. In the end, Lesotho with good numbers to slow down the Zambians. Kangwanda, out, pressure from the Zambians. That is what is impressive with them at times. They can give you phase upon phase inside the final third without necessarily taking a shot, just stretching you and keeping you working hard on the defensive ends.
Very debatable. It could have been amounted to a shoulder-shoulder. It's a great opportunity to go on what they've been working on in training, but if they can get it over the wall, anything that happens in that 6-6 box is anybody's.
7 in the box here for the Zambians. Shouts of Chikolo Polo coming from the Zambians out in the stands.
Possibility of a direct to the top corner of the far post. He's just made that wall a little narrower than it was.
Looking.
That top corner.
Yeah.
In fact, the decision for one of the demos to pull away must have convinced him that now. He might not have been sure earlier, but once there was only 2 on the wall, opened the angle a little bit wider for him.
Tabantu keeping it moving with help from Lasitunza. operating out wide on the left side. We have the likes of Malani on the right side of defense. Mind you, not have a tough outing in the semi-final. The right back weighing the 17 on his back against the Malawans. One player from Malawi in particular that gave him Troy Time was in coma. He wears the number 19 jersey, consistently running at the right back as Bakashani now picks up. It's moving with Sawana. That's a twin. Let's do 1-2 here as the ball is played in towards Seda, just over his head.
Just over his head. At least you can be sure that you'll find the man in that pass. Just got to make sure that you measure the height of the ball to find him.
This is what has been impressive with Lesotho throughout this campaign. How well they're able to hold on to the ball here. Good number of ball players, so confident in the playing style and ability that they haven't changed it no matter who the opponent, and at times with even 10 on the field they've maintained that passing style with great movement on the ball, great injection of pace in the wide attacking areas as well. Looked an interesting ball, needed to be dealt with. The follow-up shot is not on target, he's second on the game. Kambamba, he needs no second invitation to have a crack at goal here.
This is now the story of picking up the second ball. Maybe it doesn't work all the time, but as a coach, this is the kind of scenarios that you want to see. Being able to pick up the second ball. Because sometimes you play off the front. You don't necessarily build up. But when you surround that area with bodies, give yourself a chance to win that second ball and possibly punish.
They're letting Nassau go for it then. Zambia quick onto the attack then, not for too long, as Libamba had dropped deep. Now, Seda. Good work in defense. Kapumbu. Communication from the Lesotho players then. On to Makepe. Mentioned him a little bit earlier, replacing Vanazi here. Makepe wearing the number 3 on his back. Keep an eye on him. Otseka, I beg your pardon, with the number 8 on his back. Enjoying just his second showing of this tournament, having played 134 minutes. Replacing Kwanazi. These first few touches would have needed to be good, and they certainly have been. Six forward here for Lesotho. They get the header. They get a follow-up chance. They're unselfish. In the end, it ends here with Lanza comfortably having it in his grasp, but a lovely opportunity of the dead ball, and all starts with a quality ball in towards him.
He was on target with that. And this is, of course, what he provides Lesotho, that presence inside the box. Maybe the ball looping a bit, which doesn't allow him to come up with a header that had pace about it. But Mwanza still had to make a save, a decent one at that.
Important moments these for Seda, leading the goal scoring charts at COSAFA level for Lesotho. Keep in mind, Lesotho and Eswatini had a couple of warm-up matches ahead of this COSAFA Cup. Lesotho winning one, Eswatini the second in the preparation for this tournament. The strength coming to the fore then from Kangoluma. what I mean, the consistency players. So many of them are comfortable with the ball at their feet, quick feet, nimble.
But also anything that Zambia has thrown as a long pass into that thing there, it has been won by Zambia. Hardly were they able to even pick up the second ball. So that for me, as you can see, they're always crowding that area where the direction of ball happens to be going.
Well, from a long way out. Did have it covered by the look of it, Francis Mwanza. He's tried that on a few occasions as the Lesotho captain.
With the laces. And I can tell you, this is not like an ambitious shot. This is what it does in training. Nobody would have the confidence to strike the ball like that from such a way.
Lasia Magepe plays for LMPS out in Lesotho.
He's the Akekana.
Yep. So Sira, furthest forward. Came into the tournament with 6 goals, now on 7, same number as the great Tiko Bukwani of Mozambique. In chasing the number 9, which is the highest goal scored in the history of COSAFA Cups.
And that, of course, is Badenhurst of Eswatini.
I left that out on purpose. I didn't just jump in there. I wonder why.
I was thinking to myself, do you want to steal the glory from my man?
Nah, I had to leave it for you. Now, building from the back here, Lesotho through Bukolani. He's another that's quite gotten on with business. The deep-lying midfielder. And go and notice the time alongside the Sawana with the work they put into both the defensive and offensive sides of the game here. Whilst the likes of Tabanto, Sera and Mohashani go on to shine. With the magic, of course, coming from Bereng. Behind those 3. Speaking of Bereng, here he is on the ball. Opening 15 gone by here. If you are just joining us, not too much separating these sides.
Second ball for Lesotho. Big statement, we mentioned earlier, and that has been the trend since the beginning of the game. Second ball for Lesotho. Both offensively and defensively.
Misplaced pass on that occasion from Lesawana. The nation that finished runners-up back in 2000 on the front foot here. They're just running the box here, and it's Sera again. On target. Not much of a contest in the air. He was all on his own then and did well to direct that towards goal. Easy for Francis Mwanza, but a couple of positives now. They've been able to pick him out with Lesotho not having much in the way of numbers on a couple of occasions now since the match has started.
Besides his jumping ability, I think it's his runs that maybe has kept the defensive unit of Zambia away from him. He knows when to run forward to meet the ball.
Tell you what, he certainly has given them another dimension in this final, in the way of their attacks. And Coach Noti with a bit of a secret weapon coming into the final against Sishoni that maybe Lesotho didn't have in the other matches.
Gives this one away, Mariano.
Something's happened since around 2016 for Lesotho. That they had the ability to make it back to a final, the quarterfinalists then, semi-finalists the year that followed, third place, in 2018, semi-finalists in 2019. Yes, finished first round, or with first round exits over the next two COSAFA Cups, but the signs have been there that they have what it takes. Also, you have to consider the fact that Sarah's now on 7 goals, part of this generation still. Following close behind him is Tabanto with 5 goals in the COSAFA Cup history for Lesotho. 2 top strikers who've had good runs in recent years for Lesotho. Both part of the same generation. Both chasing the likes of Tiko Bukwani and others who've had great COSAFA Cup appearances in the past. The ring behind them is also a great experience. The leadership of Makepe. The years have been good to Lesotho in building towards this final over the last 5 or so years. Yes, Sarah? That's a race foot. Very quick to offer his apologies then, Tabanto. Dangerous play.
Yeah. And lucky gets away without a card. Just dangerous play. Second goal.
So again.
It looks like Zambia is starting a little bit on the back foot. The fact that the sort of picking up most of the same balls because they don't have high numbers to compete for the second goal. And it makes me wonder a little bit because on paper they should be the one offensive. They're the ones that look the better. But fortunately, but once again, having said that, in all the games they seem to have started very slow. It's only in the second half that they get better. That's why they've been found coming back from a losing position.
Really ball could run. Oh, it was a great run. Well spotted here on this near side. As Tabanto was looking for something a little special in releasing. I suspect Bereng would make that run. Of course, that most famous of war cries from a Sotho point of view, as I started out in the stands. Kubegamo. Here's a war cry when you translate it, William Chong. Block that side, block that side.
Tibagamo.
Yeah, Tibagamo block this side. Tibagamo block that side. And for sake of not being disrespectful, they go on to say we are killing the enemy, but the word they use is not enemy. So no offense to any Sotho speaking people, the reason I'm not using the original word is I just don't want to be disrespectful.
Good.
So leave it at enemy. Yeah. But we're killing the enemy.
Blanks at the moment. Polo Polo are firing.
Nice. Certainly found the rhythm. And they are looking to push it on to the Zambians here and have their way with them. Lesotho consistently moving it this way and that. Fansera now. Over the last 5 or so, it's safe to say we are playing Lesotho ball here, where the Zambians are reacting to it, but it's Lesotho that are certainly having their way. Those nifty touches all coming to good effect. Lesotho holding on to it through the likes of Lesoana and Bukolani again. Okay, but just keep alive here on this near side. Well anticipated now. Taylor on the move, close to watch defensively. They're still looking to get numbers in that box, but Taylor being able to get try and play it across, didn't quite measure it right, it miscued.
Seemed to trip just before making contact with the ball. He knows it. The thing is about him, you can manage him for the longest, and at some stage he will sneak away from you. And the other advantage that he has is he's probably the most efficient player in front of goal. Doesn't mean it's too many.
One of those that you've seen play, and the first time I saw him play was at the COSAFA Cup some years ago, where he leaves an impression on you. The years after that, when you do see him, you will remember. And the one thing he's always done is score goals, as you do say. And they are good rates, good pound up there from the Zambians as they work it wide. Well set defensively, superbly set defensively. To a point where, as they win it back, their fans show love and appreciation of the hard work they're putting into the game here. Just one thing and even when it's PSL football, you have to love coming to. The community certainly does respond, does get involved. The COSAFA Cup is certainly proof of it. Now, Zambia looking to find an opening here. This is the first time I've asked him, so this tackle is here to try and keep Lesotho on the back foot. Kapamba. Early delivery. Awkward bounce is the reason why the corner will go the way of Zambians. Zasatunza, the man who had a difficult time dealing with the bounce then.
This is after a long time that Zambia hasn't had much progress into that taking third.
Is the Azesco man. The numbers try and pick out here, especially towards that far post. And the ball kept the sort of defense honest. Early ball then. Better awareness would have maybe caused for a flick on towards the near side rather than the far. By awareness, I mean situational awareness.
Understand you exactly.
Could be a card here. Zambian players are far from happy with the challenge from Lebogolani. Showing their displeasure as well here. So the referee's got some work to do in calming things down here. Neither set of players looking to be intimidated, so everybody's standing their ground. Ooh, nasty challenge.
Yeah.
That's showing very much deserving of a yellow card challenge from Lebogolani. The Dinari man playing his fourth match of these championships. Problems here. It doesn't look good. I dare say the body language from a player that's been crucial to the Zambian cause. Nangwanda. Bamba giving some fresh instructions. Crucial, of course, on the creative end for the Zambian cause is Kambamba. They'll be hoping the top goal scorer will be able to shrug this off and continue with the game. Last thing they want is to lose him at the midway point of the first half.
I think the indication from the medical doctor has indicated that he's fine, he can continue.
So, maybe it's safe to say the Bloemfontein Celtic fan will be behind Lesotho here. Lesotho and Bloem being in such close proximity, of course being from the Free State as well. There's so many in the Free State that originate from Lesotho or are Sotho.
This is probably one of the reasons why Botha is here.
Ah, good point. Good sign is that Takangwanda will walk off the field, yeah?
For further treatment.
Or maybe not.
What he doesn't know is he still has to walk out. I don't know if the man in the middle has spotted that. When you get treated in the field of play, even if you're fine, you still have to walk out and come back.
I think he's gotten away with it.
Yeah.
Good spirit between the two here. Great spirit between the two. That's nice to see. That settled all the pushing and shoving we saw earlier. So there you have it, Botha amongst those out in the stands. From Bloem. There'll be a lot more that maybe are Sotho but or lived in Lesotho but came from areas in different parts of South Africa. Haven't come to South Africa to work and such. Now, has to set up here until that first touch, so the Zambians lose it. So, approaching the half-hour mark. Still, very little separating Zambia and Lesotho. Frustration here for Kabumbu, picking up the yellow card. So, deep line midfielders are the latest to pick up yellow cards here. Bugulani from a Lesotho point of view. Kabumbu now from a Zambian point of view. Keep in mind that these nations have met on 5 occasions, William Shongwe. Lesotho has won once before against the Zambians. There's been 1 draw. 3 wins for the Zambians over Lesotho. On 5 occasions, Lesotho has scored against the Zambians. The Zambians have scored on 8 occasions against Lesotho. Lesotho with better moments in the way of shots on target here. Zambians pushing forward, looking to change that. They yet to win it back for Lesotho. Well, he is thick enough to stay away from the men marking him, but his passing men left a lot to be desired. He's played Lesotho into a bit of a spot of bother, so his teammates are able to deal with the danger.
Yeah, Moran actually as well. Down the line. Second ball.
Lesotho.
It's been the trend since been over this.
Last meeting between these two sides. Back in 2021 in Gqeberha.
And we don't know, of course, maybe that's a plan. We'll sit back and just watch from a distance, and at the right time we'll pop forward, see what we can do. Let them have ball position with a ball position team.
The last meeting between these two sides, Sean, in Gqeberha could be crucial to the tactics being used today in Sera, starting here for the first time in this tournament as we look back at this foul against the Zambians. I say that because Lesotho walked away 2-1 winners. Guess who scored a brace?
Sera.
Yep.
I remember that game. Trying to think of the name of the coach. From Orlando Pirates coach. That coach Uganda. So many times.
Micho
Micho, yes.
Shedorovic.
And he didn't last after that because he also got beat by Eswatini, which I guess for the Zambia was the last throw.
Just from the training grounds, and should have had a much better ending than it caught the Zambians unawares with the movement on this near side from Rasitunza. Yes, we wish he had done much better with his decision making or the intention to have a shot if that was true. He was having a shot.
I think he was having a shot, and
Yeah.
all he had to do is fire it across the face of goal, a little to the far side. You always have chance because you know for sure the goalkeeper is covering the near.
Rashadi, say that to hold it up. So now picking up the pieces and ball looking for Kabantu. Again, it's Lesotho pushing forward. Then the defense standing firm. I want to say the Zambians haven't at all looked themselves in this match. And I say that respectfully in the way of the contest between these two sides, but also would like to believe Lesotho play a huge part in what a Zambian side that hasn't quite looked threatening enough going forward.
Be reminded that's exactly how they've started all most of their games.
They're still continuing here as space runs out of this near side. For Lesotho, early ball forward here. The combination defensively of Makepe with the initial head up and Tseka, who kept it moving. See Lesotho now coming over that halfway line. Malani with the early ball searching for Seda. Kabumbu there to pick it up. Kabamba. That's all red. Snapping nicely to nick it away. Now can they find the right ball? Yeah, Seda, the man pushing forward. Look at kind of back in the direction of one of the two men in the end. What he's done is split them in two. Going off by playing it between them.
Yeah, I guess the tempo is a little too high. Somebody's got to put on the foot on the ball just to slow the actions down a little. Can't play at 120 per hour all the game.
Now, mistake defensively. They'll be frustrated. The Zambians here, I don't think they believe Kangwanda did much wrong then. More an error from the likes of Rasitunza, they believe. Can't believe it. Oh, the nudge.
Yes.
He pushed the defender onto the other. Was spotted by the officials. Rashad. And the 10 remaining in this first half. Solid is now stubborn into the defense. Strong play then. Kabumbu continues his battle against Bering.
Best player in that field of play. In his position.
And there's a few players that are battling with him for that best player tag in the position. Aaron is one that comes to mind from Malawi.
Yeah.
Tetwa, from a South African point of view, is another.
Yes.
Now, chance could be coming up here for the Zambians. And then the captain, Nakete, just about enough to make that shot on the turn difficult for Libamba. Libamba plays for Forest Rangers in Zambia. His fifth appearance of the tournament, having played 248 minutes. Yet to score in this tournament is the man wearing the number 22 on his back. Battle continues between he and Makepe. Now, they're under pressure, hoping to have won the foul then. But again, the call goes his way here from Patrice Miller's out to the frustration of a few of the Zambian players who are of the impression he went to ground fishing for the foul. So, approaching the last 5 here, it's which of these two nations can get it together in what's been a tough first half where they haven't created much in the way of clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, and they take the lead into the half-time break if they can. That is the big question. Which can do that? Zambia have it here to Kampamba. Again, they're passing far from its very best here. Cheaply given away on the far side. Shabala, the guilty party on that occasion. Plays for Changa Rangers Football Club. That's the man with the 21 on his back. Combined well, the two in the heart of midfield for Lesotho. Sawana, as well as Libogolani. Space on the far side here, as the Zambians could also use this near side, as that's the best option. One of the men that's on form from a goal scoring point of view, but far from finding that form so far is Gonganda.
Maybe taking the foot off the pedal was his problem. He seems to slow down. Whether he was looking for runners, but I was thinking he's open. There's no defender in front of him. More likely, maybe challenge the space. See who commits.
Another card, this time for Serra. Welcomed by the Zambian fans. And he is looking to give as good as he's getting. Is Matiban Serra backing on that occasion against Kangoluma. interesting battles that have gone on out in that field. There's certainly one. It's got my attention. Makepe up against Libamba. Foul this time against the Lesotho captain. I do believe he may have gotten under the skin of Libamba. On a few occasions he's shown frustration following some contact between he and the defender. Kampamba need a better quality, much better quality. There's chance! Important touch, superb touch. As that header may have steered it beyond Guarani, but for Libagolani's touch towards that far post. On the far post, fields for a handball or possible foul. Again, he's looking at frustrating figure is Libamba. Has been the case on a few occasions now. Mentioned it a few minutes ago that it looks as though they've gotten under his skin if his body language is anything to go by. It certainly seems to be the case. Kabamba. Tabanzo lost out, doing it so kindly here for Lesotho. And having to think fast. So there'll be a minute added on to the end of this first half. Great crowd has turned out. And they await an opener. Tough first half, very little separating Lesotho and Zambia. Lesotho, I won't be surprised to find out, may have enjoyed the bulk in the way of ball possession. They've had moments as well, but not too many. In and around that box on the front foot. Same can be said for the Zambians, who've had possibly the much lesser of the ball, but they've had moments as well, not too many. It's been tough. Very tactical game, this. There you have it. First 45 minutes gone by here. No separating Lesotho and Zambia in the first half. Yeah, they'll both look to come out and give an improved account of themselves in the second half. Go-to players have been kept quiet. The likes of Kangwanda and Mashata, as well as Kambamba on one side, and the likes of Tabansu and Mukhashani and Sera have also been kept quiet. Sera with a couple of headers that have been on target but haven't been too threatening. So, plenty of room for improvement on the front foot in this final. At halftime, it's Lesotho 0, Zambia 0. No goals as yet in the final of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup of 2023. Lesotho and Zambia hard at work, cancelling each other out in the first half, where there wasn't much to speak of in the way of highlights or chances at goal. And let's break down the numbers then, shall we? Just 3 attempts on targets at large from both these sides in the first half. Lesotho is no surprise, have more of the ball here. So we look at those numbers and now look at the options and possible changes that could be made in the second half. There are goal scorers on either bench here for Lesotho as well as Zambia. As Lesotho do have 2 on the bench. One of them is Maka's score, as well as the Zambians having Katebe, the man who scored the own goal, keep in mind, on the bench as an option defensively. Way more attacking options available to them, including Andrew Peters. So let's go down to William Chong and enjoy one of his enjoyable halftime interviews.
Honorable Mkolisi Kaunda, Executive Mayor of eThekwini Municipality, is here with me. Honorable, I'm excited about having you because I finally get opportunity to maybe pick your brain here. I've spoken to so many of your representatives that are obviously holding different positions in the municipality, and all of them have been extremely happy with the progress of the tournament. And I just want to find out from you, obviously, from what you've heard, how do you feel about the progress?
Indeed, it is a vote of confidence to us as a city by COSAFA to always come here and bring these games of this magnitude. And we are happy that we normally showcase our capacity and capabilities as a city. We boast with good facilities, sporting facilities, our hospitality industry, when you talk about hotels, as well as and the proximity of these sporting facilities with all the amenities that people are looking for. So we are proud of our record as a city that our tourism is now bouncing back and people are coming in bigger numbers to visit our city with different events.
Yes, obviously in as far as the tourism industry, but other objectives that maybe you had in mind from the beginning, are those also being achieved?
Yes, indeed. If you talk about the sport development, soccer in particular, our township young boys have been following these games, and they take these games as inspiration because they're supposed to be looking after those who are doing well. So they build their career out of that, and we are also developing teams in this city. As you know that we have Amazulu, Golden Arrows and Royal AM, and we want to have the 4th team in the PSL, and we are looking forward in doing that. That is why we continue to develop our sporting activities, but also investing more investment in terms of the sport development.
If you were to be asked to come on board going forward in the renewal process of this cup, what would be your take?
Indeed, we need to invest more in supporting the young ones, also migrating the school soccer into the main game, because that's how we've been developing people. As you know, that as you are also our goalkeeper and a veteran, you come out of the school soccer. So it is important that we support the development from that level, but also the academy that is also producing our young people in the city. We need to continue to support them. We have our veterans, sport veterans, who are also investing their concerted efforts in developing a sport in our city. So this is a good investment because sports bring people together. It unites people. Also, when you talk about the social ills that are engulfing our city, sports play a very pivotal role in ensuring that you bring people together, and the youth in particular, they do something, because if we do not respond to their plight, then we'll have a future that will not be guaranteed. So it is important.
I see also other nationals are here and they're in full voices in support of their teams, and that must be complementary.
Indeed, as Africa, we need to grow. We need to grow and compete globally. So it's important that we develop, and we have seen new developments. We have seen Malawi coming to play the 3rd role with the South Africa. We have seen Lesotho is now playing final. It shows that the investment that these countries are making in developing soccer is really yielding positive results. These are the teams which have been very far away from the teams that have been playing at that level. But today we are happy that these teams are showing up to the game and ensure that they really develop the youth.
Honorable, it's always a pleasure to hear from you, and all the best going forward.
Thank you. eThekwini is really on the recovery path after all the disasters, but we are happy that the progress that you are making is guarantees that the tourism is bouncing back and the growth of the city is guaranteed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much to William Shongwe as we look forward to the second half and separating the nations of Zambia and Lesotho in the final. It's Lesotho nil, Zambia nil, as we look forward to the start of the second half in this COSAFA Cup. And while both these nations were hard at work in breaking each other down and cancelling each other out in the first 45 minutes, they'll both be hoping to have an improved showing on the front foot, with not only the attacking players showing a bit of frustration, none more so than Libamba, the furthest forward for the Zambians, who was rather frustrated in the last 5 minutes of that first half with the physical attention he was receiving from the Lesotho captain, Makepe, who plays in the heart of defense alongside Seka. Moments, well, some of them felt was Seda, the striker for Lesotho, who's looking for his second goal of this tournament. He's eighth to jump ahead of Tiko Bukwane in the overall standings. Chasing, of course, Badnos, who's the all-time top goal scorer with 9. Zambia, it will be to get the second half underway, attacking the goal to the left of your picture, whilst the men from Lesotho will attack the goal to the right. Early ball forward here. Key players will be looking for improved showings on the creative end. Kampamba closely watched and not maybe enjoying one of the more influential games, but looking to do so now as he stitches it together for Lesotho. One player has been very involved, keeping it moving on that far side. This is Libukulani. Early ball looking for Sena. Took it well. Looks hard to get into an attacking position as Lesotho looked to push forward, but he was in an offside position, and at the end of it all was Mutibang Sela. Battle continues between those two. Libamba and Makepe. Well, this time it's Teka who's got the upper hand on it. They've set the responsibility on him, those two, quite impressively throughout this match. Now, early ball. Sarah. Early ball, yet was the far side, there was the movement. Of course, of Tabanchuk, this Mukashan, who was looking for him, well read. All of it was, in the end, by Francis Mwanza. Second appearance for Mwanza, his first appearance in the tournament came in the semi-final. Conceded one in the semi-final, including picking up a yellow card. Here's a tough football for Trident FC, does the Zambian stopper. Sera. The best to pass it. Both these sides have at times let themselves down with the quality of their passing. Bereng. Kampamba. Those are the two creative sparks for these sides. Bereng on the side of Lesotho, Kampamba for the Zambians. When they are hot, these sides are doing great on the sharp end. Is Kampamba from range. Comfortable for Morani. Shuffle across. Don't believe it was on target in the end. Would have been missing the mark. Kabbalah it was with the early ball forward then. That's live here on the near side by Mokashani. Yes, Seda. Libogolani. That's a Tunza. Beautiful ball. They're in. Malani now, with the ball in, got numbers in there for Lesotho. Superb work defensively by the Zambians to deal with the danger. Now, Lesotho again. We're going to keep the pressure on here. Seda, losing out in the air. Nicely done. The settling is by Libogolani then. Kept moving by the captain, Makepe. Ball out into the far side again. The shot with numbers inviting the early cross. Just didn't give them a chance of getting onto the end of it. Now the improvisation still won't find Seda. Pressure with the ball across. Yes, Seda! He moves beyond. No, he doesn't. Flag is up offside. He's staying with Tiko Vukwani on 7 goals in COSAFA Cup history.
The most dangerous thing that I feel of play. This position now, let's look at this.
Oh, defender on the far side,
yes,
he's on.
Yes. When the ball was passed or crossed, it pretty much was in line.
Watch the player on the far side and watch the lines then across the box that are cut across the field, and you'll note that he's keeping Seda well on.
That's
Not
how,
even.
that's how I saw it.
Watch the player on the far side now, the furthest defender on the far side in green. He's on the other side of the line. Seda was on.
Not unless, you know, sometimes the definition of these offside calls can be complicated. You know, even to the point of maybe your nose ahead of the line counts as long as it is a playing limb, and that could be the only reason. Maybe he's ahead because the upper body of the defender was slanting forward, and Serra's was forward on the opposite direction. So it boils down to, you know, the centimeters sometimes, which is what could go anyway. I think I can excuse him from that point of view because we don't have the line to actually draw it, to show exactly.
Here's a man that's taking a lot of physical punishment. I've mentioned it a few times now. Libamba, the two have shared the work he's been getting. Makepe and Seka. Boy, they've given him some work. He's gone to ground again. Now, a moment for Seda has lifted the spirits of the Lesotho fans, yeah. Damini, well, his colors accidentally will fall in with the Lesotho fans. Say that because they are the queen and white of the South Tip, although we know the Amazon colors. His family now. You know, after over 50 minutes, with the way this game has gone, as a football man and as a football scholar, I do believe Coach Noti will truly believe in his chances now. If there were any doubts, yes, they'll still be there, the way of respecting Zambia. But as to whether this group of players has the beating of that group of players, you think it's possible.
I understand exactly where you come from. First, you have to look at the chance created against them, against what you created. and that will tell you the story. And I'm sure the possession stats as well will speak a different language.
It's not too at the above.
Yeah. So it's those numbers that sometimes will give you the impression that, you know what, you got this under control. Not only that, the entries and very constructive in the way that we went into that third. Unlike Zambia, they mostly consisted of long passes to try and find their runner, which is why half the time their striking pairing was isolated from everybody else, which is why that second ball fell for the Lesotho player most of the time.
In the end, it may come down to a moment of brilliance.
Talk about controlling the space.
Movements going forward here. Oh, Chisimba, only for a moment. John Chisimba. Another of the Zesco players, as well as Kapumbu, teammates at club and international level. Then this time it's Makebe to get the head of Libamba. Sarah. So the battle between the likes of Shabana, Kanguluma and Sarah, who's a big boy, not so easy to intimidate physically. Okay, let's take up with Libamba, also a big strong fellow, but the defenders seem to be getting the better of the battle. Sarah, of course, scored the goal that was disallowed, maybe debatable in many people's eyes in the early stages of the second half. Here he is on the move. Bering. Good awareness. Mahashani. Overlapping run then that came from Malani. Well washed defensively by the Zambians. So here's Lesotho again. Hoping to find some quality from Lebogolani, but that ball way off the mark. So deep line midfielders on a yellow card here. Lebogolani is one of them. Kapumbu is the other. On either side of the field, very interesting to see how long they last once the game reaches an hour and things begin to get a bit tense, which they always do in games of this nature.
And taking into account these cup finals, that little bit of tension about them.
Yeah.
That game doesn't normally flow like you'd want to for teams that have played that well to get to where they are. So I think that element has kind of frozen the Zambians a little bit. They normally come strong in the second half, but I haven't seen that as yet.
Zambia now looks to get some numbers going forward. The run started with the intention of going central, then as he drifted that wide, that's where the pass went in search of the initial movement. Hasn't been on the same page, the Zambians in the final third, along with the most creative in Kabamba. The ring just couldn't set it up through that. He was closely and well washed by Kunguluma. Kabamba puts away from two. Future. Then with the pass out right to this near side. Alani combining with Lukhashan. Space in the central areas. Bering driving matters again. Right out to the left side as he joins those getting into the box. Ball in. Not defended by Kongaluma.
Corner kick.
Frustrating evening for the Alexa of Gangwanda. Bullets was a far post. Good goalkeeping from Francis Mwanza. Now, chance here. Good chance. Good block. Battle continues then between Seda and Ganguluma. The defender. One ups the attacker. They're missing it all together. 1 hour of football has come and gone here.
Did Sarah take one touch too many?
Possibly.
If the one touch was good enough to set a little bit forward where he can run and gain that momentum, but it took two because the ball was a little bit too close to feet for him to take a shot.
Zambia, keep in mind, will be looking to win this tournament for the second time in a row. They, Zimbabwe and South Africa, up to this point, are the only nations to have achieved that in the past. None yet to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, he was fighting for the ball.
Lesotho having reached the semi-finals on 3 tournaments in a row between 2017 and 2022. Gone one step further. Looking to go where no Lesotho side has gone before. That's being crowned champions now. Now, set up for the shot. It was predictable, so blocked with a great anticipation then by Rasitunza. So changes being made here. And well, Gangwanda, the top goal scorer, joint top goal scorer in the tournament as things stand, is the man that will make way. Yet, Kambamba is another man that will make way here. Lesotho will be happy with the work they've put in, William Shogun. When you look at these substitutions, they have dealt with some of the endangerment to the point where they are leaving the field here. Andrew Piri will come on for Gangwanda. That's a silent pat on the back for Coach Nolzi, his tactics and the way they've been executed. When you look at those 2 subs, those are huge names to come off for the Zambians.
Anticipation speed from Lesotho. This obviously comes from freshness, and the freshness that I'm talking about is the freshness of mind. You know, when you are fatigued, you don't think straight. Your actions are delayed, and you come second best in situations. But Lesotho is operated from a very fresh point of view, and decision making, they're always sharper to react, and anticipation. That for me, that comes from not necessarily fitness, but look at how they possess the ball. In all the games that they were playing, they weren't playing at 120. So that helps them to save some energy, which helps to keep them fresher. In saying that, I'm not saying they are better off than the Zambians, but I'm just saying, if you look at the way that they've gone on since beginning of the tournament, is that their position are playing a ball team. And that has its own effect, positive. as long as you don't lose ball position in the wrong areas. And so far, I think they've been excellent.
Mohashani. The ring.
And also, in Sizomapena, each and every time they lose ball position, because of their compactness, because they're building up team, there's always players in that area. And if you see how high they press and how quick they're able to force the team to pass back, that for me is that element, because they're very compact. It puts them in a good position to fight for the ball quickly.
Shots on target, 2 for Lesotho, 1 for Zambia, meaning we haven't had a shot on target in the second half. That's how tight things have been. Next turn. Oh, it's done well. And kept it moving. Remember. Now, ball in. Wrong kind of man in green. Mukashan. See what he was trying to do then, trying to curl it into
Outside,
the
yeah.
pace of Mukashan. He didn't quite put it off, it was too straight. And in the end, dealt with by what's been a very impressive Prangoluma defensively for the Zambians. There he is. I've enjoyed watching him play today. There he is again.
Now, that clearance is not because they're trying to find somebody up front.
Anyway.
It's because there's pressure, and they can't build with that kind of pressure. So, which is what I think Lesotho has been excellent in creating those kind of scenarios where they don't allow the Zambians to play off the back.
If your footwork, just unable to find the teammate, but if your footwork nonetheless in avoiding the challenge on the near side by Malani. That's the right back with that skill level. Approaching the last 20. Keeping it moving is Kabumbu. Ready to go forward, didn't want to find the teammates. From Shabala. Here's Bereng. Looking at the pace on the far side with the early strike as well.
Running in from the center. I'm not sure if it was Bereng who had read the situation, and I think Sarah at the moment is the one that passed the ball. So
Bereng passed it. Sarah was running in the center.
So it means Sarah recovered from the pass and made a darting run into that center.
Sarah. Mukashan. Malani on the up and up here on this near side. Decent ball! Off opportunity. Attempt to recover from the right back. Very nice with the ball at his feet. Tabang Malani. Plays for LCSFC. fourth appearance, 242 minutes he played ahead of this evening's encounter. Mokashan looking for something special is Bereng. Too close, way too close. One. Well, quite proudly, we'd only had one 0-0 scoreline coming out of the group stages, coming into the semi-finals. At the end of the day, and as far as the 0-0 scoreline, still the third and fourth playoff earlier on today. Game that had no business ending with a 0-0 scoreline, with the chances created and the number of chances created by both sides between Malawi and South Africa. South Africa going on to win on penalties at the end of 90. Yeah, in the final, keep in mind, we will go to extra time if need be, but we could be at that point in the game where if there is to be a goal, it may very well be a winning goal. Such is the nature of the beast in the game we've had.
And also that it's at a point when possibly both sets of players in that field are getting real tired.
Now, header! That's a chance. That is a real chance for the man who's coming off the bench then, Andrew Piri. He snuck in beautifully at the last second to get goal side of the defender. I suspect because of the lateness of that charge, couldn't get over it. That's it. Boom.
And looking at Seka, he seemed to be not aware at all if there's a man tracking him. Because if that's the situation, you don't let the ball drop that far low.
Yep.
Chabala in defense. He's been commanding.
They appreciated that the Lesotho fans, Rashani under pressure, on his backside, able to go with safety first under some difficult circumstances. Cleared by Makeb. That's the time by the Zambians. Lasted for just a moment. Good touch. Let's do it on the far side. Important challenge defensively then by Rasitunsa. Kabumbu. Better from the Zambians.
Yes.
Simba. Early ball. Merani, the LMPS man with the long ball forwards. He, as well as the captain Basia Makebe, played for the same club. In fact, they are the only players from the club in this Lesotho outfit, including those on the bench. Back up. Now, Sarah looking for the chance, taken away from him at the last moment. Just waiting for it to drop then. Better from Libamba here in the second half in bringing others into it and playing with his back to goal. Much better. They've been able to play around that. Inject a bit of intensity into the game and the Zambians as they push forward here and get a corner for their efforts, but solid. Man's challenged by Magepe. I don't think Sishoni is entirely happy with it.
It looked like the ball might have ended up with the hand of the defender, but that I think is what he's complaining about.
Right had a bit of a case. Few come tougher. Mashata is the man injured here, Golden Mashata. Green Buffaloes man. Oh, third time. Durban plays host to the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. And staged in 2019. And also 2022. Last year they also hosted the Beach Soccer World Cup, which I was proud to be a part of. Shongwe. Always a great place with fans that love the game, that consistently come out. Came off the crossbar quite possibly.
I think the goalkeeper got it touched it, but he was a little bit too underneath it. Didn't have the leverage to pile it away.
To the post. So no matter what format of the competition, Durban has certainly played its part in getting behind it. The COSAFA Cup, the Women's Champions League, the Beach Soccer Championships, COSAFA region. Header! 1-0! Power in the header, and it's the big man, Libamba, who's had a much improved second half, who makes a huge difference in Zambia's cause. And that's a goal that can make a huge difference in the history of the COSAFA Cup in Zambia, taking charge as the nation to catch.
What can you say that is different from the Zambia that we've seen throughout the games?
Yeah.
So they're like the slow poison. You don't feel them when they hit you, but they do it slowly, but eventually they get the better of you. That for me has been the standard throughout. They've come from behind in so many different occasions and they've gone on to win the game. But this is a header where Lesotho maybe could say they could have done better. And also, this was an outswinger instead of an in. So they've been playing more in swingers.
Look at who he beat Shongwe. Magepe, who's got up in the air with him and put up a proper battle. Zaga's also not too far off. The two men that have made life horrible for him in the first half, he's come back in the second, Libamba, held it up in much better fashion, played a better game, bringing others into it, and they've built upon that in the momentum over the last 10. And then he comes up with that header. Great header.
Great header.
Lokashani makes way. Sipali coming on. That will be a bit of a pat on the back on the side of the Zambians. Say we got rid of another dangerman of Lesotho as we grab the lead with 10 minutes to go. Patwani on.
More creative. Makes sense that he comes in now where they need to really start to be productive with productivity. We've only got about 10 minutes and a bit of additional time.
Zambian fans have found their voice out in that far stand. 10 minutes. And I think time-wasting tactics have begun. There's a precious 7 seconds they just bought themselves.
As it is often said, yes, the more there's delays, they're added into the end of the game. But it's not just trying to wind the clock down, but it's now they know that Lesotho is going to come with guns blazing to see if they can get an equalizer. But by breaking the game down every now and then, it'll break Lesotho's rhythm as they try to build up.
Well, they've been quiet, that group out to the far side. They've certainly found their voice to great effect. There they are. Not to be outdone by the likes of Lesotho from a supporting point of view, Malawi, South Africa, and others that have been present in this year's COSAFA Cup. They want the bragging rights, the Zambians. Set up, beaten on the near post. Chance here on the counter. Good hard running here by the Zambians. Mashata. Mutale been very involved since coming on. Mutale. Great effect in the second half. He really has. He's wanted the ball. He's hardly shied away from it as the Power Dynamos went. Third appearance in the tournament. He's only had 60 minutes of action in this year's COSAFA Cup. Come to life, brought the likes of Mashaka to life. Zibamba. Inspired changes. Look, the brave man, Coach Shoni, when he had the likes of Kabamba, breaking away as well as a Ganganda. Side really responded to the changes he's made. Now, look at real threats to the Zambians. There's a injection of intensity they've brought of late over the last 15 or so.
More like they finished against Bafana Bafana. They also look better and more threatening towards the end.
Sera. One target in the box. That's the done. And trying to find the teammate. The hard work of those in midfield. The difference then between Lesotho continuing on the front foot or them dropping back to defensive areas, which is the outcome. This is where the war's been. Whenever these two have come together, it's been a proper war. Foul this time in favor of Magebe. Ooh, elbow. Proper connection.
Yeah,
and I mean that in the most horrible way. He's not just down faking it.
No. And then to think that he had a foul against him. Maybe proximity of the man in the middle is for the reason he didn't pick up the elbows. It happened.
I've seen the final injection if ever there was one. Can't really say whether it was intentional or not, but the connection was true. As one would want if it wasn't intentional. Hey, no. Another 5.5 plus whatever will be added on. and even Zimbabwe will be behind them in the stats as the most successful nation in COSAFA Cup history.
It's amazing what a goal can do, right?
Goals truly do make the footballing world go round and round. William Chong.
Rejuvenated the league.
Malani. Kotwani. And down, far side, way back in the Lesotho half of the field. He stayed down for a long time now, which has caught the attention of Patrice Milizard, the match referee. The signal towards the bench, just couldn't read it from Moirani. Well, he asked for a second if the stretcher would be needed because the coach, Rasi Tumta, is the man struggling. Having been there, seen it all before, not only Coach Shone, but Abram Grant as well, the main coach for the Zambian national team. They'll know now how crucial it is for there not to be any defensive lapses.
And I can just imagine the kind of value it adds to have your senior coach sitting in the stands. He might not be involved with the day-to-day running of the squad, but the players that know they have a responsibility if they are to be picked up in the near future.
Also, a nice touch for man of Evan Grant's stature to be out here supporting COSAFA. Yes, even though you're not the coach at the side, you're with them in the team hotel.
Yeah.
You have made new friends, the likes of William Shongwe and such.
How can you leave an opportunity like that? Oh, the one thing that is missing, my phone is poor. The camera is very poor, so I couldn't take
a picture.
Yeah.
So while it's time off, it's not necessarily time off for Evan Grant, which is what I mean. I say it's a great touch for him to be here. It's inspirational for the youngsters looking to get into the qualifiers, both from an AFCON and a World Cup point of view. They'll have a chance to impress. As far as Southern Africa is concerned, qualifiers are a big talking point for the next World Cup. Now, pull in. Wanza chooses not to hold on. Early ball forward here. Zambia able to deal. Oh look, the World Cup qualifiers, Group C, will be a bit of a sore point from a Southern African point of view, with South Africa, Zimbabwe and Lesotho all in Group C of the qualifiers. Angola, Eswatini and Mauritius are in Group D. Zambia in Group E with the likes of Morocco, Congo, Tanzania, as well as Niger and Eritrea. For Lesotho and South Africa, they'll be up against Zimbabwe as well, Benin, Rwanda and Nigeria in Group C. That's for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The changes are made here. And Chipesi comes on. Ibamba, who had a great game and scored that all-important goal, is the man that'll make way here. These could very well be the championship winning goal. Naka on for Rasitunza. They have to throw numbers forward now. Rasitunza, the defender, the man to make way. Naka's first touch. Early ball, Sarah. 3 minutes, 40 added on to this match. Again, looking at those 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Seychelles will be in Group F against Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, Kenya, Gambia and Burundi. Mozambique and Botswana in Group G against Algeria, Guinea, Uganda and Somalia. Malawi and Namibia, same group. Group H against Tunisia, Equatorial Guinea, Liberia and Sao Tome and Principe. Comoros in Group I, the likes of Mali, Ghana, Madagascar, Central African Republic and Chad in there as well. So that rounds up Southern Africa's look at the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Fans have started their marches out on that far side from a Zambian point of view. Under 3 minutes remaining, in fact, make it just over 2. And there are those that are marching up and down around the Kings Wellington Stadium field here. Zambia feel with the danger. Lesotho continue to throw numbers forward. And just throw the ball forward in the hope that it'll fall for them. Nakepe, the captain, is playing as a striker right now. So plenty of forward, big men as well. Need better balls, however. A minute and a half remains. Zambia could put this to bed. Shots. Then what is a short piece of play from Andrew Piri. Thought he looked for a teammate, but was only bringing it onto his stronger foot. Time running out for Lesotho. Everybody pushing forward now. Two fans now have seen enough and are beginning to make their way towards the exits for Coach Noti. Well, they were brave, they were entertaining, and they came so close. One moment, one lapse, one moment of brilliance really from Libamba. Zambia are the most successful nation in the history of COSAFA Cup football. 7-time winners, with Zimbabwe behind them as 6, South Africa third with 5. Started this tournament off for the loss and have gotten better and better in moving along. Impressed in how they recovered to be the best second place team in their group. Further impressed in the win against South Africa, having to come from behind in the semi-final, and terribly impressive in the game against a tough Lesotho. A tough game it was, to find that moment of brilliance from Libamba, who showed great character throughout the game, battling against the likes of Makepa and Treka, to rise up above both those men and put through a quality header that is the difference between these two nations. Well, changes made the difference. The likes of Joshua Mutale coming in off the bench played a huge part in the change in momentum. Whilst the Zambia, the champions, we take our heads off to Lesotho and the city of eThekwini for a great tournament all around by those that played their parts in the final, including those out of the stands. In the end, it's the Zambians that are 7-time champions of the HOLLYWOODBETS COSAFA Cup They've won the 2023 edition, beating Lesotho by a goal to nil. Not too many highlights in this match. Lesotho and Zambia had some moments in the first half. Those up wild and could get the better of Mwanza. That ball well matched by Zambia, getting the better on that occasion of Kanguluma. Maybe in moments of their own, that header took a special touch by Lebukolani to see it go over when it looked goal bound. And the ball in. Oh, great header. That should have been a goal for the Zambians. They had made the changes, of course, and on the field was Endel Piri. This is when Zambia started to up the ante, play better football, play with a bit more intensity around the final third. Well, really feel he should have done better than in hitting the, or finding the back of the net. Moment of brilliance. How's this for a header? Defenders all around him. He's got 3 defenders he's backing against. Finds the quality in the header. Zalibamba battling with 3 in the air. Amongst them, both Makepe and Tsege. I'd appreciate it better having a look at it again, all 3 of them. And Sarah. Man, that's just quality. That is a top quality goal. Well earned goal. Well earned when in the final for the Zambians. So, have a look at the numbers then. Not too many in the way of shots on targets. Lesotho with more of the ball. Zambia with more goal attempts, but the numbers certainly tell an interesting story of the tug of war between these two sides. The momentum pulled this way and that. In the end, there was no denying the Zambians, and they, of course, are crowned champions of the COSAFA Cup once again.
Player of the Match award goes to Moyela Libamba, and to present the award is Mr. Cliston Songelwa, HR Manager of Akwele. Please, do the honor, sir. Yes. Libamba, you must be very happy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy because this is my first time, so I want it. And I thank God for this, because this is my first time.
It was a hard game.
Yeah, it was a hard game, as you football is, so you just have to celebrate and enjoy this cup.
Well done and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And of course, coming in now is Notse, who is the coach of the Kwena of Lesotho. Coach, you can play how well you like, but it's goals that wins game.
Definitely, that's how football it is. The boys did their level best, and firstly I would like to congratulate the Zambian national team for their win today. Yes, of course, we did everything. The boys did everything, but on the day it wasn't our day. But I think there is a lot of good attributes that we can take out of this match.
You scored a goal. It was a very touchy one. It was touch and go, obviously. Even us in commentary couldn't pick up exactly. You must be feeling like surely that was a goal.
Yeah, no, we thought it was a goal, but then at the end of the day, if the match officials are saying it's not a goal, we have to accept the decision.
Now, going forward for me, what else would you like to see this team grow in? Because for me, as far as the game itself, it looks like we outplayed the Zambians in the first half in particular. They seem to bounce back a little into the second half.
No, from here, I think the players need to be given more games, at this level. More games, I think it will make them a better team. The more games you play, the better you can be. The 6 matches that we've played here, they've come in handy. And I think going forward, the boys, definitely you'll see some growth in their performance.
You personally must be happy with the performance as a coach. Surely that will set you at a high level in as far as your belief is concerned.
Yes, I'm satisfied. I'm happy with the performance. And for me, it was just doing my job that I was given by my principals. So we just need to be focused and do whatever that the association wants.
I'm sure driving home tomorrow, you must have a little bit of comfort in how everything went. I don't think you, even in your wildest dream, expected to go this far.
We have always had a belief, you know, during the send-off, we were given a very good lesson, you know, speech by one of entrepreneurs in Lesotho. You know, he gave them a very good sending off speech. We are always talking about it, engaging them and reminding them about it, and I think they took that and it made them a better team. And for now, people are asking, hey, Lesotho has been quiet. Lesotho now is up. Lesotho has raised his hand. And we are very thankful for the support that we've been given by the locals here, even our supporters who are coming from Lesotho who are here. So really, there isn't much one can want from here. Just to cherish the moment and be happy for the boys.
Coach, you must be at this stage looking to go into the dressing room and see if you can comfort those boys. They did everything. They need to be congratulated. Well done.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Thank you.
And of course, coming up after Coach Notse is Moses Shone of Zambia. Two coaches congratulating one another. Coach Sisone, over the moon with your performance and how once again you started slow and at the end it was the character of the players that see you through.
Yeah, first of all, yeah, we started our game very bad in the first half. I think the guys showed a bit of some fatigue. We didn't find our game. And then the second half, I had to, you know, to try and tell them what we are supposed to do. Actually, you know, that because we give most of the time the Lesotho guys a lot of spaces. So, I mean, I can understand we never had enough time to rest, but the Lesotho guys looked more organized than us, and then second half we tried to make some changes, and we looked a bit better.
When you make the changes, what did you see that wasn't working and what did you want to achieve? Because it worked like a charm.
Actually, we analyzed the game for Lesotho as well. They were playing more, especially when they are building with, it was like the 3-5-2 up front, and they dominated the midfield. So I thought it was necessary to bring guys who didn't have much time. So it worked well, despite we were trying, we were taking much long to, in terms of transmission in front. But a big compliment. We are champions. We've defended the cup, and we are taking it back home. A big compliment for the players. They showed, you know, the last 20 minutes we fought, and yeah, that's the team spirit I expected.
Now, to win this cup in front of the coach, sitting up in the stands, you must be very happy yourself.
Yeah, I mean, how can I say? It's a good feeling actually, and this is also shows how we worked as a technical bench, and a big compliment also for my technical bench. We were a team, and yeah.
Coach, let me hold you long. I'm sure you want to go and celebrate with the players. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And coming up, of course, is captain of the Zambian team, Kapungu. And Kapungu, you must be very happy with how you led the team. Very difficult game, though.
Yeah, ndinokondera maningi nambira munje pali game senze izi nze yokosa game but tasebenzela pamoja as a team takonga na instructions ebatuza our coach.
He says he's very happy. We've worked together as a team, and we followed the instructions that were given by the coach.
The other thing that I noticed that throughout the competition, you guys start slow, but you are able to pick up against all odds and go and win a game. What will the problem be that you are not able to start right from the beginning?
Ball very like game ya first yenze like in wake up call kurifu wambili my prayers wete sense wambili yenze yona munga it is but si tournament ingono big tournament like prime upcoming players, so at least there's a guys who have experience wanna chap out the right tournament, so yenze wake up call kurifu kwa ya games tapanga nzapo tenzenda keeping up tenda command.
Captain, my captain, congratulations once again.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, Makepe, the captain of Lesotho, is coming to join us here. Captain, my captain, you must be disappointed after playing so well, and yet you have nothing to show for.
Hakina mantswe re lekile ka tsela tsohle tse ka kgonang di chance re bile le tsona ha ga kgona dikora ka nako ha ga kgona dikora actually, but re bapetse khotsofetse ka nnete khotsofetse.
But once again, playing with young stars and also just the combination play, for me it was fantastic that you played like this throughout the competition and proving that you have a style that you are following.
Re thutse haholo tla game ya pele ile ga fa rono set pace ka yona game ya pele then ya bobedi ya ga fa confidence and momentum let's re fitla final mona combinations re bapala tsona the young stars ka ne di prove le hore ba hloka bapala team.
So now the people are, what can you say, what word can you give, send it home, face the camera and tell them what the feeling is like to have experienced coming so close yet again and yet you failed?
Nga fela ga le ba ka support ya bona e ba ga feeling yona tsatsing la ka shegu e hanne ne ga tla yona hae, maybe next time re tla khona go tla yona hae.
Datu Makepe ke a leboga.
Ke lebile haholo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And coming up now is Lyle Lakay, the South African captain. Lyle, yes, you didn't make it to the finals, but the performance that you gave today was something else. Very encouraging.
Yeah, obviously the mandate was to win the tournament. You know, we ended up in third place. Obviously not what we wanted, but it was the best that we could do. And yeah, coming to today's performance, obviously, you know, some people will take it lightly because we're not in the final or so. But you know, we said we have to go out there and finish as high as possible. And I think we struggled a bit in the first half because we changed the system. You know, I think we struggled a bit, but second half the coach changed the system. He made a few changes, and obviously, you know, we showed the hunger and the willingness to win, and at the end we won, you know, even though it was on penalties.
A personal question now for you in particular. Are you staying in Cape Town or going back to Tshwane?
I'm going back to Sundowns. I'm still contracted to Sundowns, you know, so I have to report back, and then I'll see what happens from there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, we have another player coming up. K. Mashata, of course, is here and wearing jersey number 10, and fantastic game. Once again, you were the playmaker, you were delivering the necessary passes, but it wasn't an easy game.
Sure. It wasn't an easy game as usual. No final is easy, no game is easy. Yes, sir.
But now, what is it? Once again, I'll ask you the same question that I asked your captain. In all the games you played, a very slow start, but you pick up as the game progresses and you look better towards the end.
Yeah, at first of the start of the trainings, we worked the coach emphasized on endurance, so we had more endurance than our opponents. So at first we start slow, but it's good that we pick up at the end of the game.
Well done once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's.
Well, There you have it, William Shongwe, with a bit of a surprise. It's just a number of interviews he had then, but great insight we got from the Zambian and the Lesotho point of view. Also nice to hear from the South African captain in Lyle Lekay, explaining how things went in the third and fourth playoff, and also a bit of insight as to his immediate future. Lesotho done so well. Have to love the words from their captain when he says he said that twice, meaning we are satisfied, and they have all the reason in the world to be satisfied with the way they went about that final, and the way they've gone about this tournament. Should hold their heads up high, Lesotho. South Africans in your picture now. They, of course, had the mandate, as we heard from Lyle Lekay, to win it all. As things stand, they still are third behind Zimbabwe, and now Zambia, who stand outright as the outright leaders in as far as wins in this tournament. The great Tiko Bokwani, 7 goals he scored. Same number as Sera of Lesotho in the history of the COSAFA Cups, the man to bring forth the COSAFA Cup. And we all wondered a week and a half ago when it all got underway who would be crowned champions. We all know now that it's a familiar face in the first, who are now the last to be crowned champions. Zambia, the first champions, now the last to be crowned champions until next year. So the dignitaries will be invited onto the field now. So let's go through the list of dignitaries for you. And Mr. Arthur Almeida de Silva, the president of COSAFA, Councillor Aounda, the executive mayor of eThekwini Metro, Mr. Timothy Shongwe, chairman of COSAFA organizing committee, Mr. Gwenza Ngwenya, chairman of SAFA KZN, Dr. Toby Sifunda, acting HOD of Sports, Art and Culture, and Mr. Pindani Nene, business partner of Hollywood Bets.
Now, help me welcome onto the podium the referees for the third and the fourth place match.
The ceremony will begin now with the referees' medals being handed out, starting with those from the third and fourth match, followed by the final match referees. So the officials are from both the Malawi and South Africa games, as well as the Lesotho Zambia. David Modise, Zamanis Melani from Swaziland, Modise from Lesotho, of course, Stephen Dugasi from the Seychelles, and the fourth official, Demingosi Dlamini from Eswatini. That's Commissioner Abdul Basit Ibrahim in that match. So for the final, the officials will be stepping forward here. Patrice Milizar from Mauritius, Asile Molefe from Botswana, Zacharias Baloi from Mozambique, and the fourth official, Paulo Moreira Sergio from Angola. Great games for both groups of men involved in the third and fourth playoff and in the final. Both games today, they'll be proud of the way they've fared, and from a refereeing point of view, not much in the way of talking points against them throughout the last week and a half, which will be a good sign and a good step forward from referees in Southern Africa who have done a good job generally over the years, especially over the last 10 years, in the way of CAF competitions, FIFA competitions as well.
Now, give a round of applause and let's congratulate Team Malawi for the Fair Play Award.
Pick up the Fair Play Award in the tournament. And they've had a great showing by Team Malawi in this tournament.
Congratulations to Malawi.
There you have it, Malawi with Sanudi, the captain, stepping forward. Fair play award. What a tournament they've had, Malawi, starting off with that win over Zambia, which just sets the tone for them and their supporters, who've also been great out in the stands. They will arguably walk away with the supporters' gold. The Malawian fans. Individual awards. Goalkeeper of the tournament will be coming up now. Morani, the hero for Lesotho, is the man that will take the goalkeeper of the tournament awards. Remember his heroics in the semi-finals. Saves 3 penalties in a row, then goes to score one from the spot in being crowned the hero, with Lesotho having played the entire second half with 10 men on the field, having an immense sent-off in the first half. He was crucial in the Lesotho win, including his saves in that second half. What a performance from Morani, a man who's grown in this tournament over the years. Sharing a nice moment with the dignitaries then. Lesotho's man between the sticks and the goalkeeper of the tournament. Let's go to the top goal scorer.
We have a tie.
Tie, of course, between two men, one from South Africa, the other from Zambia. Mabasa from South Africa. There you have it. And it's Zambia's Kangwanda, of course, that's gone on to share in that joy. Both came into the games today. Mabasa in the third and fourth playoff from 3 goals. Kangwanda 3 goals in the final. Both were substituted in the second half, with both not necessarily having things go their way. So, wondering how they'll share that one trophy, but that's for them to decide. Player of the tournament now coming up. And from Malawi, who will walk away with the Man of the West Awards, Kawanga. Chiwanangwa Kawanga. Of course, Malawians back home were overjoyed with the performances from the squad, even in the group stages. By the end of the group stages, the streets of Blantyre had come to a standstill. If you picked up what is going on there on social media, it was absolute joy, with the parties literally out in the streets after Malawi. That's how well they've done in entertaining in this tournament. So Lekay will lead the bronze medalists and also the hosts of the COSAFA Cup, with the Tekwini hosting this tournament for the third time here. The expectation was to win it for Lekay and company. They will settle for a third spot. Doing the business on the final day against Malawi to be crowned the bronze medalists from the penalty spot in the game that ended with a 0-0 scoreline. No business that game end, or had to end in a 0-0 scoreline. They played great football. There were many shots created by both the Malawians and the South Africans. Goalkeepers very much were top of their form. They played their part in what was a thoroughly entertaining third and fourth playoff. One of the most entertaining that comes to mind, considering it still went down to penalties with a 0-0 scoreline. Many a young talent that's come through here for the South Africans that would have made an impression. One or two of them looking for clubs that will hope to have picked up clubs going forward. There'll be some youngsters that will hope to be in the senior national team for some time going forward. Mabasa rediscovering his goal-scoring form at international level. He'll hope he'll go on to rub off on the club scene, no matter what the future has in store for him going forward when he returns to Pirates. And for the technical team here, they will be happy as a group with the work they've put forward. Coach Ramadi Bodi, first assistant coach Ntaga, goalkeeper coach Sekuta Nare, head of delegation Orgaping Sitare, Calvin Dlomo, the physical trainer Tumelo Kujani, the equipment manager, Vincent Seka, team manager for the South Africans, team doctor Tabo Maleka, physiotherapist Collins Makanatieng.
Now, let's welcome all to the podium. Kenneth Matipe with his team Lesotho for the silver medal.
So, time now to focus on a Lesotho team that again hit the ground running. Were so impressive in their group. The time they were going on to their third match, their final group match, they could afford to rest a few of their players. They had built such a gap between themselves and the chasing pack that they lost to Angola 4-2 in that game, but still, because they rested players, they did so well in the semi-final. Got the picture of Malawi, put their spot in this final through some hard work and some talented players. Coach Nosi and this group of players can truly believe that they were amongst the very best, as Rasi Chunza picks up his medal with a slight limp. Nuhashani, of course, who just went out of your picture a moment ago, amongst the most impressive from a Lesotho point of view, and one who would have made a name for himself at these championships. Lebogolwane, center of your picture and fading out of your picture, just putting on his medal now. The hard worker alongside Sawana in the heart of midfield for Lesotho. Sera now on 7 goals, tied with Tiko Bukwani, the great from Mozambique, who of course brought the trophy onto the pedal a little bit earlier on. Tiko can be proud, Sera, of the work he's done with that 1 goal he scored for Lesotho. Scored again in the final in a goal that was disallowed, and well, the debate will be honest whether that should have been allowed or not. Technical team here for Lesotho alongside Coach Mosi, Bob Mafosa, the assistant coach, Samuel Kenzagile, the goalkeeper coach, Mr. Mafantiri, the head of delegation, Makia Kalati, team media officer, Tanki Putswane, media and staff, Lesonodo Totanyana, the team delegate, as well as the physical trainer, Mahasi Patswani, the equipment manager, and Matthew said the team manager. So, forward step, the champions. It would seem a long time ago now when Zambia started off with that loss to Malawi in the opening game through an own goal by Aaron Gatebe. They bounced back from that and got better and better. Didn't finish top of their group, which would have given them some scary moments and some worrisome moments, but then went on to finish as the best runners-up. And well, in the semi-final, again, another scary bump, and South Africa took the lead, but they came from behind to get the better of South Africa. And here they are in the final, with the goal scorer just getting his medal now in Libamba. He was so impressive, Libamba, winning the Man of the Match award as well in that final, where he had to put up a proper fight against Makepe and Seka, the 2 central defenders. And the Zambians will look to a few. Joshua Mutale picking up his medal win in number 17, came in off the bench and played his part. Here is Katebe wearing the number 5, and it would have been a scary start for him with that own goal in the opening game. Many other players that have played their part. Chipes now picking up his medal, and the technical team to follow behind. Sishoni, the head coach, Mumamba Numba, the first assistant coach, Tembo Muswaso, the second assistant coach, Chipepo Mwenya, the second assistant coach again, David Spiri, goalkeeper coach, Joseph Musonda, the physical trainer, Raiziga Mungaina, the equipment manager, Lombe Chupupu, the team manager, Jacob Piri, the team doctor, Team Zambia. Running them all up. The players whom we got to know time and time again through the 3 group stage matches, the 4th match being the semi-final, including the final. Now the technical team, the men that have been putting in the work behind the scenes here. Great group of guys, see them regularly at the team hotel, always with a smile, even when things are going tough or things aren't going their way. And well, they've conducted themselves like gentlemen right through this tournament. Last in the entire group is the captain Kapombo, a warrior, a true warrior for the Zambian cause. And well, this is what it's all about. Winners in the inaugural 2 championships. Winners again in the last. Been involved in every COSAFA since its inception back in '97. 13th final appearance it was for Zambia this year. 7 times champions, 6 times silver medalists. This the most successful nation in the history of COSAFA Cup football. They now lead Zimbabwe on 6, they on 7, keep in mind the Zambians, South Africa on 5. They stand alone in uncharted territory to the Zambians. And this is the moment they've been waiting for. They would have wondered with a stumble in that opening game, and the confidence would have grown with every game that's followed since. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the champions of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup of 2023. That's Zambia. Winners now twice in a row. They've done it before where they've won it twice in a row. They'll look next year to be the first nation to win it 3 times in a row. They are raising the bar. It's up to the rest to catch up to them. And one has to wonder whether it will be Zambia who will be crowned champions once again, whilst the ladies are currently the champions of COSAFA Cup football in the ladies section. We take our hats off to the nation of Zambia. Of course, no better way to be crowned champions than with Freddie Mercury and Queen blasting away in the background in a legendary song. And as the Zambians begin to continue their celebrations, we will be thankful to the city of eThekwini and the various venues we've used here, the Princess Makoko Stadium, those here at the Kings Latini Stadium who've turned out, and at the Moses Mapida Stadium, Kwamashu, Central eThekwini, as well as Umlazi, the 3 venues and the 3 parts of eThekwini that we visited. We felt very welcome. Also thankful we are to the COSAFA family for the work they've put in, from my colleague William Shongwe and me, Caesar Mapena, and the rest of the team here. We sign off. Looking to see you in the very near future. Cheers.